Africa boasts a wealth of mineral resources while simultaneously facing a scarcity of human resources. As the United Nations Environment Programme highlights, the continent possesses a significant share of the world's natural resources, encompassing both renewable and non-renewable assets. The United Nations assessments reveal that the continent holds 40% of the global gold reserves and 90% of the world's chromium and platinum resources. In addition, Africa is home to the world's largest reserves of cobalt, diamonds, platinum, and uranium. It accounts for 30% of the global mineral reserves. Approximately 12% of the world's oil resources are within Africa's borders and 8% of the world's natural gas reserves. According to the World Mining Data Summary for 2021, the Democratic Republic of the Congo dominates the production of cobalt, while Mozambique and Madagascar emerged as significant global players in graphite production. Do you know that over half of a mobile phone's components, like electronics, display, battery, and speakers, are made from mined and semi-processed materials found in abundance within the continent? For instance, in 2019, 63% of the world's cobalt, one of the key metals used to produce batteries, came from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Tantalum, another metal used in electronic equipment as capacitors in mobile phones, laptops, and automotive electronics, are produced by the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda. In fact, the two countries are the world's largest producers of tantalum. Together, they produce half of the world's tantalum. As of 2022, Angola produced most of the continent's petroleum at 1.16 million barrels per day, followed by Nigeria at 1.02 million barrels per day, Algeria at 970,000 barrels per day, Libya at 946,000 barrels per day, Egypt at 556,440 barrels per day, Republic of the Congo at 275,000 barrels per day, Gabon at 195,000 barrels per day, Ghana at 172,000 barrels per day, Equatorial Guinea at 88,000 barrels per day, and Chad at 68,000 barrels per day.
The mineral resource-abundant continent bears the weight of an immense external debt burden, leading to a vicious cycle of debt-driven poverty and underdevelopment. This phenomenon is often referred to as the mineral or oil resource curse. However, it prompts us to question whether this curse is genuine or if hidden external or internal forces contribute to its existence. To delve into this matter, let's analyze the concrete data from the Energy Information Administration. As of 2023, the leading oil-producing countries and their respective daily production are as follows. In first place is the United States, producing 20,213,000 barrels per day. In second place is Saudi Arabia, producing 12,144,000 barrels per day. Next is Russia, producing 10,938,000 barrels per day. In fourth place is Canada, producing 5,694,000 barrels per day. Fifth is China, producing 5,119,000 barrels per day. Next is Iraq, producing 4,553,000 barrels per day. In seventh place, we have the United Arab Emirates, producing 4,237,000 barrels per day. In eighth place is Brazil, producing 3,803,000 barrels per day. In ninth place, we have Iran, producing 3,661,000 barrels per day. And finally, we have Kuwait, producing 3,022,000 barrels per day. Have you observed that all of the top 10 petroleum and liquid producing countries, except Brazil, are part of high-income economies? Brazil falls under the category of upper middle income economies. If we consider this phenomenon to be genuine, then a comparable level of underdevelopment should be noticeable in the oil-producing states of Africa. A significant number of petroleum and liquid-producing countries within the African continent are classified as lower middle-income economies. What's even more concerning is that countries rich in mineral resources, such as the Central African Republic, Chad, Niger, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, are recognized as low-income economies.
Additionally, the continent harbors the highest concentration of impoverished individuals. As of 2023, the Global Multidimensional Poverty Index reveals that out of 1.1 billion people experiencing multidimensional poverty, 534 million resides in sub-Saharan Africa. This dire poverty situation is compelling numerous citizens from sub-Saharan African countries to take drastic measures, often resulting in loss of life as they pursue better prospects in Western countries. Our media frequently report on the tragic incidents of migrants perishing in the Mediterranean Sea while attempting to escape the clutches of poverty.
The African continent grapples with a substantial lack of adequate infrastructure. According to the World Bank, nations in sub-Saharan Africa should ideally allocate 7.1% of their GDP annually to sustainable development goals-related infrastructure investments. But in reality, they have only been directing approximately half of this amount, which is around 3.5% of GDP. This situation arises because the ability of governments in the region to fund infrastructure projects has been notably hindered by mounting obligations for servicing their debts. Projections indicate that Africa's external debt service will surge to $74 billion by 2024. To illustrate, in 2023, a staggering 59% of Nigeria's revenue is projected to be utilized for servicing both external and domestic debts, surpassing the combined expenditure on health and education by more than double.
Amidst the intricate challenges of an ever-evolving global stage, the African continent contends with the weight of debt and the imperative of sustainable development. The ramification of the persistent debt crisis ripple across economic growth, social advancement, and environmental preservation, underscoring the urgency for collaborative action among African nations and the global community to uncover effective remedies. We welcome you to participate in the annual Development and Sustainability Conclave hosted by the International Partnership for Africa Development, IPAD Scotland, and the National Institute for Credit Administration, NICA Nigeria. Together, we will delve into innovative homegrown solutions to surmount the ongoing developmental hurdles confronting our continent.